Welcome to Ivancast podcast. The subject today is the Russian producer Digital Moss. Get ready to hear a lot about synthesizers, drum machines, and the future of music. You are looking down the barrel of the future today in this very futuristic episode of Ivancast podcast. Enjoy the podcast. We are on the air right now with Digital Moss.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being part of the podcast. It's early in the morning here. I just having some coffee. How are you today in your part of the world? Where are you from?
I'm from Russia. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's about 4 p.m. now, and
it's 4 p.m. now.
I'm already done a lot of things. So yeah.
Yeah. Are you also under lockdown? Are you quarantined over there?
Yes, for about months or maybe more. I don't remember when it started, but um, I keep working. I keep doing
Yeah,
things.
that's
So
great. You can work from home. I was listening to Back and Forth right now, one of the songs um, from your band. You're a member of I Am Waiting for You last summer.
uh, yes. It's
Yes.
my main project, the biggest one. So we do instrumental music, these guys.
Yeah. That's really cool. I was checking some of your music yesterday. You play bass guitar?
Pretty, we are three producers in the band, and
Hmm.
we play different instruments, and so basically all of us are multitasking, doing
Yeah, multitasking,
doing multi
multi
and
instrumentalists.
mental, yeah. But
Yeah.
basically, I play bass. I started with this instrument, and yeah,
Hmm.
so I keep learning it, playing it, performing, and so on. But basically, we all play guitars, synths, drum machines, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
synthesizers, drum
Digital
machines.
Moss is my yeah, and Digital Moss is my solo project. I started it about yeah, it's my side project. I started about a year ago, or maybe
Hmm.
earlier. I really don't remember how it happened. I just
Yeah,
got a modular synth and
yeah.
for some years, and I was looking at it on. I was looking at this synth and understood that it cost me so much, and I've done so little with it. So I decided to. So I decided to make more music using a synthesizer, a hardware one. So basically, that's how it started. I recorded a video, me performing on the synth, put it on YouTube, and I was
Hmm.
really surprised that it got some views and some
Yeah.
views, and I thought it can be a pretty good idea to making videos and making synth
Hmm.
music, and so slowly it started evolving, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything is fine with this project.
Yeah, it's really good. I gotta say, it's one of the most original. You are one of the most original artists that I have recently discovered on the web while I was producing during this whole process of my podcast series. Um, so you describe your music as dystopian ambient music. Why is this? Because if we talk about dystopias, this is sort of we can associate this to the decline in society, disasters, dehumanization, and I love to talk about the future. I think I've been thinking a lot about the future over the last couple of years. So can you maybe tell us something about your conception of your music? Why do you call it like this? What is behind all your, let's say, your musical proposal?
Um, First of all, I want to build some kind of universe about
Hmm.
with this project, and um, to tell a story, not like action movie, but more like atmospheric one. And
Yeah,
I'm heavily inspired by science fiction and
yeah.
dystopia books, like from the most popular 1984 by who's the writer? I forgot. Uh,
Hmm. So you
Sorry,
like to read this kind of books?
it's a
Brave New
Orwell,
World
George
probably is one
Orwell.
of your
The book.
favorite ones.
uh, Brave New World. I read,
Hmm.
but I'm not very. I wasn't very impressed, but it's pretty good book. And I also read
Hmm.
Zamyatin. It's a Russian
Yeah.
writer, one of the first who wrote about
Hmm.
dystopias. And I'm also a big fan of Lem. It's a Polish writer, um, Stanislav
Hmm.
Lem.
Yeah.
One of the most popular books is Solaris, and yeah, so I have a pretty big influence in literature.
So do you think we are already living in a dystopian world?
Yeah, I think maybe yes, maybe no, but I, I can't really say. But some of the scary stuff it happens now
Yeah.
with society, and
Yeah, some of the
yeah.
scariest things are already happening.
But these books are not about the future. These books about the problem that was uh, actual when the writers wrote them. So these dystopias are
Hmm.
about the problems, not about the future, but about the past. Um, so no, every science fiction book is not about the future. The future is only the um, instrument, not instrument, but it's decorations to um, help to see idea more bright, more vivid. So yeah,
Hmm.
the problems are not the problems of the future. The problems are the problems of the past or of the now. Sorry for my English. I'm
Hmm.
not very good at it, but
Oh, don't worry about it.
I hope I, I, I hope you can understand and your listeners
Yeah, yeah, we
something what I
do.
say.
Absolutely, we definitely get the message. The most important thing, of course, in this episode is your music. So I was wondering, what kind of music did you grow up listening to?
Mm, I really don't know what the music. Uh, I was all listening to the radio all my childhood, and then I got into some
Yeah,
alternative music, like heavy music, metal, rock music,
yeah,
and I'm moving, and I always searching for new music, and I always trying to get new music, even if I don't like it. I listen it, I explore. So yeah, basically, I just love exploring different genres and different music as a listener, and my
yeah.
playlist is very diverse from uh, like
Hmm.
black metal to some more uh,
Hmm.
happy songs with
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering this because you make pretty straightforward music, like very futuristic, post rock, post punk, um, electronic music. So I thought it would you would have some kind of a band in your memory that will say, okay, this band made me want to make electronic music or play with synthesizers. I don't know. Maybe talking about some German bands from the probably those. early electronic bands like Kraftwerk, for example.
Yeah,
You
of
know.
course I know of this. I know the main influencers in genres, in techno
Yeah,
music, in house music, and post
yeah,
rock, and in black metal. Yeah, but
yeah.
I'm not listening to the music by genres.
Hmm.
I can. Um, of course, I listen some of genres because I love them, like post-punk or cold wave.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I can listen a big diverse of genres because um, I can deconstruct music somehow, and if I don't listen to arrangements because
Yeah,
the core of the music is pretty simple, and you can.
yeah,
Imagine all kind of arrangement, and if I listen a song, I don't get the arrangement, but I get the feeling or the melody. I like this song. So this is how it works in
yeah.
my music too, because I get rid of all of the um, sound design, all of um, the complexity, and I have only
Hmm.
two voices in my synth sound. So
Yeah.
I have a bass and lead,
Hmm.
and this is
Hmm.
essential core of the music, and I'm trying to get a maximum using only two voices because uh, I hope that people that listen to my music can imagine all the other stuff by
Hmm.
themselves. They can imagine drums,
Yeah.
they can imagine guitars, they can imagine vocals. So
Hmm.
this is pretty.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. I think it's fascinating your approach to music, your
And
idea of music.
this project is also about a challenge for my creativity and perfectionism
Hmm.
um, in producing music because with a band we can
Yeah.
do tracks for 2 years. So the production is pretty long, and we do all
Hmm.
stuff
Hmm.
pretty carefully and precise. So it's easy
Hmm.
to pretend that there is 300 of tracks in one project, like in
Hmm.
music production software, and it's really
Yeah.
hard and long work. And with this project, I uh, try to make everything as fast as possible, and
Hmm.
most of the tracks that I recorded audio and video at the same time,
Hmm.
and I can't edit
Hmm.
audio or video afterwards, and so I just record a track,
Hmm.
shoot on the and put it in the web, and so I can't edit it, and
Yeah.
it keeps me in uncomfortable zone. But when the time
Hmm. Hmm.
goes, at the end, it's okay for me.
Yeah. Do you build your own synthesizers? Because I don't see any names on your synthesizers. You know, like big names like Moog or Nord. So do you make yourself your
Uh,
synthesizers?
no, because so there is a lot of Russian brands in my system without logos,
Oh,
and so that's why
that's why. Okay.
there's a pretty good wide synth community, synth builder community in Russia, and so I can get some stuff pretty cheap.
Yeah, yeah. I remember because I'm a bass player too, and I remember knowing that there were a lot of yeah, Russian companies that would make effect pedals for bass guitar, for example, who were really cool sounding.
And there's also a famous, worldwide famous Russian synthesizer
Oh
called
yeah, yeah,
Polyvox,
Polyvox. Yeah,
and
Polyvox.
so basically, yeah. So my main voice is taken from the Soviet parts and rebuilt for Eurorack.
Wow, that's so
So
cool.
basically, I use a Polyvox, using as a part of Polyvox in my sound setup.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow, that's pretty cool. I think that's fascinating. Did you sort of study for that, or where did you learn all the, how to handle all those wires and knobs, all the electronics, so to say?
no,
Like, can you explain?
I'm not soldering. Um, I'm not
Hmm.
soldering it by myself. There's a guy who made it, and he's pretty hardcore guy who founded these details. Yeah, yeah. It's so his name is Walkie Talkie.
Oh, so there is a taggy guy who's responsible for that. Walkie talkie. Okay, that's awesome. I love this. I love this part of the podcast where we just start talking about nerdy, technical things of music production. And having you in my show, it's so cool because you're talking about Russian instruments, Russian production, modular synthesizers made in Russia. We talk about the Polyvox and the techie guy walkie talkie who's making this. So this is really cool. I think there are people out there who are willing to know this technical aspects of music production coming straight from Russia now. So thank you very much, Digital Moss, Evgeny, for sharing your knowledge. And yeah, the best way to understand all of this is just listen to his music. So we are going to do that now. You are going to listen to the song No Sasifu from his 2019 EP Escape. So go and check it out. You will find Digital Mouse music anywhere you can hear music on the web. And let's do something, okay? Let's do the following here. If you are listening here, I want you to leave me a message anywhere you want on my Patreon page or on any podcast app or on my social media, and leave a message with the word walkie talkie. Okay, this is going to be the word so I can know that you are actually listening to my podcast and that you have been listening for 17 minutes to a Russian guy and Ecuadorian guy talking about music and modular synthesizers. So if you're into this kind of things and you are enjoying the podcast, just leave a message with the word walkie talkie, okay? And then I know, okay, there's a nice guy or girl out there following the podcast. Okay, so let's do that. Let's play that kind of a little game here. Walkie talkie, okay? Walkie talkie. And now it's time for music. Stick around. We will be back in a minute. there's the techie guy who make all those wires work. I think that's really cool. But can you maybe explain for the audience that it's not familiar with electronic music, like how do you write your songs? It's the same like writing a song on a guitar or piano. How can we imagine your creative process? How do you do that with?
Okay, it's um, usually I I have a lot of focus in writing the
Mhm.
actual melodies and parts because I don't care about the arrangement and the sounds because
Yeah.
my system is complete and
Yeah.
I I don't waste my time thinking about what instrument should I use it, and so basically I'm
Yeah.
focused in uh, writing the notes. And so basically, I do
Yeah.
it by three. I think I have three ways to do it. The first one is
Mhm.
the most obvious. I just enter the notes like playing a piano. But
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't play piano well. I use different controllers that helps me to do it in scale, and
Mhm.
I just put notes like uh, like on a piano. The second way is my most favorite, and I have a random generator in
Mhm.
synthesizers that generates random voltages, and these random voltages uh, can be notes. And so I
Mhm.
just waiting when the synth makes some kind of melody,
Mhm.
and it gives me idea or sometimes really a main melody, and I add bass, and that's all. And this is one of my favorite ways to do music because
Mhm.
when you do music, you can't play simple most of the time because you already did it, or it seems to be very simple to enter the notes. But when the synthesizer makes notes, you only judging the feeling, and
Yeah.
you don't see how it's made. Maybe it's really very simple, but you judging only the final result of the melody, of the mood, and it helps
Yeah.
me to pass it really helps me to make music because uh, I'm judging really the final result here. And the third way, I make music on my mobile phone with the apps, and I usually use Reason Compact, and yeah, I'm sitting on the couch and trying to make on mobile, and then I move it to the synth. So this way is pretty cool too.
Making music with your mobile phone. That's
Yeah, because
yeah. Yeah.
you can do it on couch and with the synthesizers on the audio gear stuff.
Yeah, it's been also my idea of music in the future, like just sitting on your couch making music with your phone. Do you think that's the future of music?
I always dream about making music on iPhone or iPad, but really um, I can't get the best results using only this portable stuff. I think the future of the music is not making music, not only listening to the music that you like. So yeah, basically some generative stuff will work out well somehow, I think. But the role of the human is to pick what is good, what is bad. And so today, the generative music is not so good. So I think it's not. Uh, I think the future is music is not actually a musical production. I think the future of music
Yeah.
is in generative music, and the people. will be only the listeners. And now the generative music is not so good, but I think in a couple of years we will get a musical source that we will listen, and we will don't care about how it's made, who is made. It will just try to guess what we want to hear. And so, yeah, I really think the generative art will be, and I don't think that people will make music soon. I really think this is like more of uh,
Hmm.
maybe there will be some crafters like craft. What shoes. There is mass market shoes, and
Hmm.
there is guys who make with leather unique kind of boots. And I think most of people will
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
generated music, and some of people will use like crafted music, but the percentage will be quite low for the crafted music. Everybody will hear the music for running, the music
Yeah.
for something, and so the music becomes more um, utilitarian thing, and not like aesthetic thing,
Yeah. That's an interesting point
to
of
me.
view. Definitely.
And we can see it. We can see it here now,
Yeah.
because of the
Hmm.
pandemic. The music streams, yeah, the music streams became lower, and this is probably because of people stop driving, stop walking with music. Like um, there are there is a lot of less activities that use music as background, and so we can decide. Uh, I mean, I can guess that the music become more background thing, and nobody, or not nobody, but many people don't care about how it's crafted, and how what the aesthetical uh, function of the music. Most people use music as
Yeah.
background, and who cares how it's made if it's made for
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. Now, where do you get your inspiration from to make this kind of music?
Um, as digital mouse, I'm inspired by science fiction books, uh, and from the computer games, because I love playing computer games since my childhood, and uh, it's a very interesting thing, these computer games, because you can it's much more immersive thing, and
Hmm.
uh, games helped me to um, create some visions for inspiration. And so yeah, basically I have universe, some kind of universe of digital mods in my head, and I'm kind of visualize trying to visualize visual I can't spell it, like images. I see some images, and then I try to make music for this image in my head. Basically, um, I think it's much more easier to do if you're a visual artist, but I'm making, so this is kind of wrong way, I think, but it works for me. And I hope someday I will make pretty cool images of this universe. But I'm I'm in the process of developing it. So I have a big spread, not spreadsheet, but it's a whiteboard, when I do connections, and decide who is evil, who is not, and some other stuff. Yeah. So for me it's fun to build a universe around, to make not only music, but to make a whole world. And it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. I think because something that really catch my attention was your video animations, your on your Instagram page. They are really dope. They are really cool. And also saw this Chinese cover art picture on your SoundCloud page, and I thought this is some serious cool art. You know, this is there is a lot of things behind all of this. Um, so video animations are really cool. Do you produce them yourself?
um, and not all of them, and
Yeah,
basically pretty all of them are made by other artists. I just contact
yeah,
them, and some of them are
yeah.
really kind uh, to give them to that I can use it. But now I'm in 3D. I'm learning 3D now, so I made some of the visuals by myself,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
for some purposes I need more specific things, and so
yeah, yeah.
but I still hope I will find more cool guys that can help me to visualize I can never
Visualize,
spell it. Yes, the story,
visualize.
visualize, yeah,
Yeah,
the story. And
yeah,
yeah, this project is pretty small for me, and I don't think I will get in a big scale. So it's
yeah,
for me, it's fun first of all, and my main project is the band. So all my powers are mostly go to the building the universe for my band too.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So digital mouse is sort of your own creative project where you try to create this, as you said, this universe behind the music, right? Which includes a lot of animations and inspired by by video games, more or less, no? Or uh, the 80s revolution or of VHS effects and things like that. No?
I'm trying to find my own visual language. I'm not heavily inspired by 80s, but because I was
Yeah.
born in 90s, and
You were
uh,
born in the 90s? Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
heavily.
Were you born in Moscow? Did you grow
I
up
live
over there?
I live near Moscow in a small city. It's called Ryazan.
In
It's
Moscow.
about 2 hours by car or train
Yeah.
and I can get to Moscow. But basically,
Yeah, that
yeah, I
sounds
live in a
cool.
small city.
Yeah, yeah. I've been to Moscow once in 2007. I think I was there. I spent a couple of weeks in Russia. It was pretty
Mm,
cool.
cool.
Um, yeah, lots of nice things to see and do. It's a totally different world from where I'm come from. You know. Um, so it was a spectacular. It was really cool. So
Cool. I'm glad
I
you
lived
like
in
it.
Germany. I played in an Yeah, yeah. I lived in Germany. I played in an instrumental band, and one of the most common and weird questions to me was, "Why don't you have a singer?" You know, I know with electronics is a bit different, electronic music, but have you ever thought of singing or having vocals on your music, or why it is so important, or why it is not important to have vocals or a lead singer?
Um, I uh, I thought about it a lot because I
Yeah,
was playing instrumental music for like I have for 8 or 9 years. I have a band, and we were
hmm,
playing instrumental music. And this question is always like actual. I don't know,
yeah.
people often ask it.
All the
And
people ask all the time.
why
Yeah.
do you, where is the thing? But
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Where's the singer? Where's the singer?
yeah,
Everyone wants a singer. Yeah,
so it's more about the feel. that I want to
Yeah.
create with music in general. And
Yeah.
uh, there there is a very high role of imagination and the listener's side to the music I make. So
Mhm.
if there is a song with lyrics and the singer tells you what is happening, what it's all about, um,
Mhm.
this is like 80%. The role of the listener is about 20%, and the role of the
Mhm.
musicians about 80%. I tend to
Yeah.
make music the opposite, so I give uh, about 30 or 40% of my side uh, to the listening experience, and the most part
Yeah.
is the listeners' imaginations, the listeners' uh, ability to dream and to imagine stuff. And so yeah, basically
Mhm.
I make music for dreamers. So some kind so
Mhm.
yeah, it's just different approach to music, to the tracks. And I really love the idea of the role of the listener, because I know some people will like your music much more than yourself, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it's happening all the time. I can love the
Mhm.
song, but I'm pretty sure that I can love the song so much that I don't think the artist will like it the same way. And yeah, just give more freedom to people. And I like to build special mood and atmosphere that is hard to describe. It's like
Mhm. Mhm.
about the not what is happening, but how it's happening. It's like you in the middle of something, you feeling something, but it's hard to describe. And I just really want um, to get the listener to this place.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything becomes unimportant, and you have something, you feel something good or bad. But if it's bad, it's not like evil, or it's
Mhm.
when you are sad, it's not really a bad thing. So this works
Yeah.
same way for music.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, because when I listen to your tracks, I get these deep feelings of sometimes nostalgia, a little bit of sadness. I can get lost for a bit in a space and time, and I see there is so much space where you can do a lot of things. So I think you reach that what you're trying to do with your
Yeah,
art, and I think
it's
that's really amazing. And
thanks. It's really
yeah.
great to hear.
Yeah, but has it also something to do with the frequencies you use, the accords, arpeggios? Are they responsible for this? Because I'm a musician myself, but I've never played synthesizers, or I've never played with wires and stuff. So I don't really know how do you how is your um, so to say your intention behind that, musically speaking. Do you play a
Mhm.
lot? I mean, do you know what frequencies are you going to choose, or getting into the production kind of thing?
I think um the main two things. It's how I managed to do this. Um, First of all, the sound of synthesizer is very, uh, very. It has life in himself in itself. So it's
Hmm.
analog. Most of the models are analog, and they are not perfect, and they are drifting. And
Yeah.
this and the sound is really evolving by itself. So you don't do anything
Yeah.
big changes to the sound. It's pretty. It has some imperfection that is very pleasant. for me, but as example,
Yeah.
and I just can listen in the basic sound from a synthesizer, but this basic sound will have life in it, and um, so yeah, and the ways you interact with synthesizer is very important too, because if you compare to the VSTs and other production in computers, um, you don't
Mhm.
have ability to move everything. You have ability to do it with your mouse, but you will never do it because it's unnatural. And with a synthesizer, then everything is touchable. Everything you can move and make a slight change, and it becomes a process, and it
Yeah.
really affects the sound because the sound generators um, are the same in computers. So there is some plugins that can emulate the stuff that I have in synthesizers pretty good, but I don't use it like the same way. It's because of the interface. Like when you have
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
ability to touch the sound, you touch it, and this is why it's so. This is one of the reasons the sound is much more
Mhm.
interesting. And
Yeah.
if speaking of the notes, um, I have some tricks. Like compositional tricks. It's like I have special chord structure, but it's not really a chord because I can use only two notes. And basically, I'm not using septachords. I'm using general major and minor chords, but with big
Mhm.
spacing between bass and lead, and it
Yeah.
makes. I took this from guitar playing trick, and so
Mhm.
I moved to the guitar playing structure to note chord
Mhm.
to the synth sound, and it works out well for me.
Yeah, that's a very good description of your music, and always the best way is just go and check it out. Go and check out Digital Moss on socials and Instagram and stuff. You have a good following actually. Do you think you have found your community there, your niche? How do you how do you feel about all this social media experience?
Um, so I've worked on it
Yeah.
uh, to be such thing. So there is no miracles in such follower base, and
Yeah.
I hated Instagram. Like I made it last year. I made it
Hmm.
last year because all the years before I was I didn't understand Instagram, and I didn't really liked
Hmm.
it because people uh, were always in their phones, mindlessly swiping the news feed, and it seemed to me a very
Yeah.
destructive thing, and I didn't want to be on
Yeah.
Instagram. And last
Yeah.
year, it's about last spring, I think. I thought mm, maybe I can get use of it. So
Yeah.
I made a research, and for 1 month or 3 months, I don't really remember. I just trying to get the use of it, and it's kind of.
Hmm.
Uh, I just want to be good at what I don't like. I don't know how to explain it. But
Yeah.
I saw the I understood that it can the Instagram can give many possibilities, because I found so much cool art there, and the direct messaging to people I admire, the music artist. And uh, I just was I sent a message, a direct message on Instagram to the artist I like, and he responded, and we had a conversation. And I thought maybe it's not a such bad thing, and I decided that I can I can be good at it. And digital mouse is also about this um, information. About the information has become so much. There's so much information now, and it scares me. And and digital mouse is about all this information, all this mindless information too. And I trying to get TikTok. What is it? Why is it existing? I can I can get an
Are
answer.
you are you on TikTok too?
No, I'm just now Instagram, but maybe when I get
You
the
will join
core
me.
of
Yeah.
TikTok, I will go to the TikTok and find the followers, little followers
You
from
can get
school.
you can very easy get viral on TikTok. Yeah, that's the craziness of the internet, right? You are one click uh, from getting in touch, as you said, with your favorite artist. You can talk to them. That's the way we connect to, right? You have to imagine I am thousands of miles away, and I discovered your music, and I was really amazed with the video animations and stuff. And I thought, let's do a podcast with him, because I joined Instagram in 2011 when it was just an application to share photos, and to see how it has grown over the years. I was thinking last year of deleting all my social media accounts because they were driving me crazy. But then I thought, I've been attached to this technology for years, so maybe I should do now something cool. And it's been such an amazing sort of experience this. So yeah, we are all on this. I think we are all in a kind cyber artist. Do you consider yourself a cyber artist, a
Um,
cyberpunk?
I don't like cyberpunk theme, because there is
Yeah.
um, a lot of a lot of people who do but so cyberpunk is not it's really hard to explain, but a lot of cyberpunk artists are
Yeah.
shitty. I don't like the visual style of the, and I wanted to
No,
I,
no.
so yeah, because of there are so many shitty artworks. I don't want to belong to like a cyberpunk aesthetic, but I belong, but in a more different way. Is the
Different
Matrix
way.
is cyberpunk? No,
Mhm.
yes and no, but nobody speaks about the Matrix, that the Matrix is cyberpunk, the
Mhm.
movie. But
Yeah.
I like the Matrix more than cyberpunk. I like
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So
Mhm.
I can
So
say I'm a part of cyberpunk community, um,
yeah.
but we are really close and touching together in some places. It sounded bad, but I think you get what I mean.
Mhm.
So there is a lot of things we're crossing. Yeah, but
Mhm. But
sometimes I use the word cyberpunk to people like people like names for everything, and so if
yeah.
I use the word cyberpunk, it's much more easier to find a connection between me and audience. If I
Yeah.
can't go and tell everybody, hey, this is my music. It's like cyberpunk, but not cyberpunk. It's because of and so yeah, I just use the word is a promotion tool for me. And
Yeah. What about drone music? Is it also a genre you would feel
I
part of?
think not really because my stuff, the drum music is all about texture, and I'm more melodic driven guy. But I like drum music.
Mhm.
I respect the Sun O band. Um, it's
Mhm.
really amazing, and well, I think they are one of the biggest influencers in drum music.
Mhm.
Because I really like fuzz sound. They usually fuzz guitar sound, like they
Yeah.
overdrive in the sound so much that
Mhm.
the sound becomes like very generative in itself. There is so movement in overdriven sound so much. It's not static. It's everything is moving in between this sound. It's organic, and so
Mhm.
it's so much cool that the guys figured it out and made of a project this. Uh, from the sound, this nature of sound, because it's really so great. And I also love using fuzz sounds, but just by myself. I not recorded it, just put a lot of gain on bass guitar and put it in guitar amp, and just push the limits of the sound. It's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So what's coming up next? Do you have any, well, right now, of course, we can't play any gigs live and or festivals. Well, what's coming up next with you? Do you have any new projects or LP singles coming out soon with Digital Moss or with your main project?
Everything for summer.
I am waiting for you last summer.
Yeah,
What's
so
coming up next?
this year is very big for me because with my band, we almost finished the album that will come out in September 14th. And
Oh,
this is,
cool. This year, September.
yeah, this year. And this album will be, I love it so much because it's um, like, it's a post rock album, kind of, but it's much more deeper that it
Mm-hmm.
sounds, and so we put a lot of efforts to make it unique. And
Mm-hmm.
there is really a hard thing to do. It's to be unique in instrumental music because you have no voice, lyrics, and you
Mm-hmm.
use guitars, and it's a pretty hard job to sound unique, to be unique in
Yeah.
this way. And so I think
Yeah.
we managed how to do it. So there is a lot of interesting textures and melodies. It's very heavy music, emotionally and sonic wise. But I'm really proud of it. And in autumn, I think
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Okay.
people
Awesome.
will. But
Yeah.
for
I'm.
digital
I'm
moss, I decided. So digital moss is interesting thing because I'm trying to play game with digital world
mm-hmm.
with and this Instagram thing. So for me, there was a challenge to get more followers, to be
Mm-hmm.
uh, to find a way uh, how to deal with all the data. So I
Yeah.
became pretty good in digital marketing
Yeah.
this year, and um, all I do is besides of music is I'm trying to uh, I'm not say hacking the internet, uh,
Yeah.
um, but to get smart enough in these things to
Mm-hmm.
deliver my music to the listeners, because there is a lot of there is a lot of gatekeepers between listener and the
Yeah.
music. And all the years I was making music, I dream about the day when I will release the music to the right people and they will hear. Just there is no gatekeepers. There is just a pure connection, not pure but direct connection between artist and listener. And there is so much work is to get your music to the listeners. And um,
Hmm.
basically it all started when not there is some years ago there was labels that were
Hmm.
the gatekeepers. Now we have social
Yeah.
media that hides the posts from the audience, and you
Hmm.
should pay to be seen.
Exactly.
It's like Facebook and Instagram. And
Instagram.
I was I'm really happy to be that the Spotify exists as artist, because they have a
Mhm.
pretty good recommendation system. It's good, but
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Patreon is pretty cool. I made it some months ago, 2 months ago. I made a Patreon, so it's as the alternative connection between
Yeah.
me and audience.
Oh,
And
you also have a Patreon page?
yeah, I have like 4 followers, but I'm really uh, working too much on it, because
Yeah.
uh, it's a pretty uncomfortable to me. For as person, I'm just it's my personal thing, but
Mhm.
uh, I want to be as much independent as I want. But with Patreon, I
Absolutely.
feel that I not get so much freedom, it's really uh, it's really when I get a new patron, I'm really happy, because it's means for me some kind of stability in future, and it's always a good thing. So yeah, there is two.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is two sides of it. It's independence
Yeah.
and stability.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so with
Those
the
are.
digital mouse, I decided to put on a track every month.
Mhm.
I tried to do it because I literally. So I'm fighting to the
Mhm.
attention. I'm fighting for the attention in this big data, in the big amount of data, big amount of information, and so I'm
Mhm.
just kicking every month. Uh, I'm trying to get attention this way.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
So yeah, I think you're doing an amazing, great job, and people who are listening to this podcast, they are definitely going to go and check out your Instagram account and check out your great video animations and music. So yeah, those are the challenges now in this crazy digital world we are living in. It was a fun chat. We talk about all different sorts of things from the future of music to all the aspects of your great dystopian ambient music. I think that's the best description, right, for your music. Will be your own description.
Cool. Thank you for hosting.
Yeah, it was fun, and
it's
yeah, you want.
I was it's really yeah, it's really great to I love
Yeah.
speaking, because when you speak you suddenly understand more, because I
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, that's exactly what I want to reach with this podcast. Just to talk a lot about music and details, things that you don't say anywhere else. So people who listen to podcasts are really people who are interested in learning something new. Get some new perspectives on music and life. And yeah, it was fun. Thank you so much, Digital Moss, for being part of the podcast. I would say let's call it a day with some of your music, because we've talked a lot about music and your art, but now it's time for people to listen
cool.
to some of your stuff, so they have a better idea. And yeah, the podcast will be available on pretty much any podcast. application you can think of: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcast. So enjoy the podcast, listen to Digital Moss, go and check them out. Check them also. I think I'm a big fan of I Am Waiting for You Last Summer. It is a great band. You make so much great music. So check them out. New album coming out this year. And if you like this podcast, subscribe and give it a like. Thank you, Digital Moss.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Пока. No, пока,
Пока.
пока. Is it?
Пока.
Yes,
Да.
yes. I know a lot
До
of words. Can I
свидания.
tell you all the words? Yeah, до свидания, привет, как дела,
Отлично. Хорошо.
хорошо,
Хорошо.
хорошо, конечно, красиво, пиво. What else I know?
So
Я говорю. What is
you have
я
all
говорю
of
is
the
I
words.
speak.
Yeah.
Is it я говорю чуть-чуть по-русски? Is it right? What I'm saying right?
Yeah, yeah, it's right. You can say piva and that's fine. It's everything
Yeah,
you need.
yeah, that's fine. Yes, I ordered many beers when I was in Sochi. Yeah, in that summer, I drank a lot of beers and vodka.
Cool.
Yeah, my Russian friends, they, the first night that I was in Moscow, they invited me to drink some vodka, and after the vodka, I was already wasted, and they said they just started because then it came the whiskey and stuff. So it
Yeah.
was a great first experience of being in Russia.
Basically, yeah. The Russians
Yeah,
can some of the Russians can drink a lot.
yeah, they can drink a lot. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's it for today, and yeah, stick around and people and listen to the music now. Thank you, Digital Mouse. Goodbye.
Goodbye.